Hi guys, I'm Shadow from Shadows of the World, and this is my monthly recommendations video. So for January it has the topic fantasy, and fantasy is in fact my favorite genre, my most favorite genre of all books existing. Which you may already know if you have watched some of my old videos, or if you know me or whatever. I love fantasy. I love fantasy in every part of my life. I just love this magic everywhere. So I'm going to recommend you some fantasy books, but I'll be honest, there are quite a lot, so I decided to not summarize the plot for all of them. Some I'm just going to show you, and yeah. So, as dystopia, like The Hunger Games is a dystopian book, Divergent series is dystopian, I decided to put them in their fantasy, their subcategory from fantasy, but I'm not going to explain them a lot because I love dystopia lately. I have a lot of dystopian books. I'm just showing you a few, and I'm showing you a few to recommend to you because they're already popular, so I guess you already know them. As for a start, the book I recommend you the highest, the most of all, it's Harry Potter. Come on, it needed to be in this video. But in fact, if you haven't read Harry Potter yet, there went something really, really terrible wrong with your life. So go and read Harry Potter, otherwise we can't be friends. I'm sorry. As for another series, which is quite popular, it's the House of Night series by PC Cast and Christine Cast, who are mother and daughter. It's about a special kind of vampires. In fact, they're vampires, but they're quite different from the thing we know. Really great series. I can highly recommend it until book number 6, because I think from book 7 onwards it's quite strange. It's getting a little bit too creepy, it's getting a little bit too overdone in my opinion. I haven't read the last 3 books. I'm definitely going to finish the series, but I can only recommend it highly until book number 6, and book 7 until book 12. It's, I think with 12. Yeah, the series has 12 books. It's okay to read. It's okay, you can read it, but I think until book number 6 is the good part. And the things afterwards are okay. Another book I can unfortunately only recommend to German watchers of this video, because it's only published in German, is Das Unkrautland. So, that way. Das Unkrautland. It's a quite funny story. It's in fact a children's story, but it's so funny, it's so enjoyable that you can read it as a young adult or as an adult as well. The characters are really great. There's a little bird only consisting of bones. He has no feathers and no flesh anymore, and he's, well, like the professor of this all. And a jumping pumpkin, and yeah, it's quite funny. It's supposed to be scary at some points, like how scary a children book can be, but really, really great. Das Unkrautland by Stefan Seitz. Another book I'm not going to talk about much is The Host by Stephanie Meyer. Yes, this is a German edition. The translation from the German title is in fact souls, because they call the little aliens, which I imagine like little insects, souls, Seelen, in the book. I found this, I think that this book is a little bit creepy, but I read it as I was about 12 years old, and yeah, in that time it was really creepy, but it was really, really good. I highly recommend to you The Host. The next book I'm not going to talk about much is the Mortal Instruments series by Cassandra Clare. Really, really great story, really great characters, sometimes a little bit overdone, but really great. I don't like the German translation, in fact. It's not good. So for those of you who heard German and want to read the series, read it in English, it's way better. This is the movie edition, the German movie edition, but it has little pictures. I mean, that was the whole reason I bought this book. It has the pictures of the movie. And even if the movie's quite a little different to the book, I really loved that movie. I just loved it, and I'm really excited for the TV series. The next book I'm going to recommend is Zabriel. It's the first book of the Old Kingdom series by Garth Nix. Really great story. Hard to summarize, really hard to summarize. It's about necromancers, and yeah, it's really hard to summarize. It's also a quite old book, like it was published in 1995. This book is older than me. No, it's about necromancers and how... Well, Zabriel is the daughter of Abhorsen, and Abhorsen disappears, and she tries to find him because it's her father and I think she got left, and yeah. She's trying to find him, and for that reason she has to pass the wall between life and death several times, and it's a really great story, really great. Well, another book I just not going to talk about, Scullery Pleasant by Derek Landy. It's like Harry Potter. If you haven't read this thing, go home. This is just genius. It's so sad that the series is over. I really was every year, the whole year I wanted to read the next book, and then last year it just ended, and that's really sad that I haven't just accepted the end of the last book. So, Scullery Pleasant, really great series. Read it. Read it. First go read Harry Potter, then go read Scullery Pleasant, then we can go on talking. As I read both series, I'm going on talking now. Next book to recommend is another book by Derek Landy. It's the first book of Demon Road, his new series. This one got released last year. The second book is coming in March it is, I guess, and this is so great. It is so great. It's I waited part of the book that Scullery is going to step into the scene and save the situation, but it doesn't happen. It didn't happen. I'm sorry. Yeah, no, this is a really great book. It's about Ember, a 16-year-old girl, who finds out that she is a demon. The only problem is her parents are demons too, and she only lives for one reason, and for that reason her parents are hunting her. Yeah, they're trying to kill her, and that's quite a strange thing. It's really great told. It's a really great story about traveling all over America to, well, in the desperate try to save her life. I'm sorry, but it is that way. Really great book. I'm really excited for book number 2. I'm really excited for the rest of the series. This is going to be a trilogy, he said, I think. Really great. Demon Road by Derek Landy. If you like vampires, and if you like Japanese comics, like manga, I recommend you Vampire Knight, which is unfortunately over too. It ended, 2 years ago, but I just read the end last year, like in 2015. Really great series. It gets a little bit confusing around book 16, 15, but everything gets clear in the end. It's really enjoyable, as those are really short comics. Yeah, short mangas, as mangas are. You can read one of these books in 1 hour and you have the whole series in like a day, and it's really worth it. Back to written books, well, mangas are written books too, but back to those thick books you need days for. The School for Good and Evil by Soman Chainani. I hope I pronounced his name right. This is a book about two best friends, somehow best friends. They're quite a strange way of best friends, who are forced to go to the School for Good and Evil. And Sophie, it's the blonde one here, well, she always wanted to go to the school, and she thought that she will go to the School for the Good, and Agatha is going to go to the School for the Evil, and everything's going to be just fine. But when they arrive at the school, Sophie is put into the School for the Evil and Agatha in the School for Good. And both think that this is a huge mistake, but it's not that clear. The secret about the school that, well, most of the people don't know, and except those people who are part of the school and who've gone to the school too. The school is the place where all our villains and princes and princesses from our fairy tales come. They're trained there to be those princes and heroes and villains. And yeah, really great book. It's also serious. It's also a trilogy, I think. I just read the first book, but it's really great. Another great series to recommend is Hexhall. I have seen them under another title. I think they changed it. This was one of the first ones published in German. Hexhall by Rachel Hawkins. It's great. It's, yeah, another school with magical beings, witches and vampires. It's quite a long time ago that I read this book. Yeah, witches, vampires, werewolves, some demons too, I guess. There's going to be a lot of conflicts. It's a really great book. As for now, I come to my loved dystopia books. A thing you wouldn't think is a dystopian book is The Selection by Kiera Cass, but it is in fact dystopia. It's playing in today's USA. Named in the book Ilea. It's a kingdom, they have monarchy, which is a thing never ever have thought of getting to happen in America. That's why it's so great. And it's a little bit hardcore bachelor. I'm sorry to call it that way, but it's one prince and 35 girls from all over Ilea who are going to the palace to maybe become the new queen of Ilea. I actually have never read such books, but this was so great. Someone gave it to me and said, okay, you should read this thing, it's really good. And I was, yeah, sure, it's good. And I read this, and as I was half through, I said, okay, I'm going to buy the second book of it when I finish this and when I finished all my other TBRs. But when I finished this, I really needed to run straight to our local bookshop and buy the second book, because I get so addicted to this, which is quite strange, but it's a really great series. Book number 5 is going to be published this year. Really great. I highly recommend this to you. I have never thought of recommending such things, but this is so great. The Selection by Kiera Cass. So I'm sitting on my bed and I'm putting all my books on top of each other, and it's a really high tower now, and I hope it won't fall down. Okay, next book to recommend. The Hunger Games. Yes, this is the German edition. It looks creepy. As I bought this, I thought it looks great. Then I saw the English covers, or the original covers, and I thought, oh god, what did the Germans do? But okay, really great book. I don't have to say much. Nearly everyone has read the books, nearly everyone has seen the films. Really great. Okay, the tower is getting more and more unsteady. Another thing I'm not going to talk about much. I only have the second book here. It's the Divergent series. Second book is Insurgent. I'm currently reading Allegiant. I love these books. Well, I thought about not reading this third book because a friend of mine spoiled me, and then I was like, okay, leave me alone. But yeah, I'm reading it anyway. It's great. I love it. I just love it. Not going to talk about it anymore. I mean, it really gives you to think about our society. I'm sorry. Last book to recommend is a book that really freaked me out. I couldn't read this right before going to bed. It was so freaking me out. It was so scary. Oh no, the tower is falling. Saved it. Stay. Okay, sorry. It freaked me out. I couldn't have read it right before going to bed. The Fifth Wave by Rick Yancey. Movie is coming this year in a few months. I'm not sure whether I want to go in this movie or not, because this book was so strange and so scary. It's about an alien apocalypse, and some of the humans are aliens, some of them don't, and they're hiding, the aliens. Well, the aliens are hiding. They're attacking humanity in a few waves. 4 have happened yet. This book is about the 5th wave, which is coming right now, and nobody realized that it is the 5th wave. And the aliens, what freaked me so out is that the aliens are, well, downloaded into the mother's body when there is a baby, and, well, yeah, they're kind of connecting with the brain of the baby, and at some point in their life they're going to wake up, and that point is arrived now, and that is why this freaked me so out, because when I read this right before bed, I dreamed of it. I dreamed of going out with my friends to some places, to cinema or whatever, and then they suddenly turning into aliens, and this was quite strange. I mean, yeah, it's just crazy. It freaked me up, and it is a really great book. I really need the second and the third book of the series, but I'm reading this in the morning, not in the evening. The 5th wave. Okay guys, I have my tower of books in front of me, just a little tower. It's really small, it's falling apart. Okay, it fell apart. I have to put those books now back into their places, which is going to be much fun. I hope you liked my first real booktube video on this new channel, and see you soon, and don't forget to enjoy your life to the fullest.